Welcome back, everybody, to more Final Fantasy VI, and we are taking care of one last errand before we take on Kefka's Tower. Now, this is actually something, once again, that I forgot in my previous playthrough. When I came through Mount Zozo, I actually forgot to get the dragon here. So we're going to go ahead and claim him, or at least get him killed, before we head out to Kefka's Tower, because once you hit Kefka's Tower, it's pretty much point of no return. I mean, you can eventually get out, but you will have to take care of a few things, and you might as well just finish the game while you're there. And of course, happy Thursday to everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. I know everybody, a few people actually get mad at me for doing the happy day or whatever, but from my own personal experience, you just want to be able to have that one thing in the day that helps you get through it. And that's what I try and do with the videos, is because I know that a work week is hard, and I know that sometimes we have good days and bad days, and so I always try to at least give you guys at least one happy guy that you're talking to, or that you're listening to, or whatever. So with that being said, happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. I hope everybody's enjoying the videos so far. I get feedback here and there, but I always want to be able to see what you guys think of it. Obviously, we've had the Drak tries for Blaster Master 0. We've also had, up until this point, 2 Tale of Drakfus. We've had the Dungeons and Drakfus for the Underbog, so you guys have that. And then also for yesterday, we had yet another episode of Gaming with Geeks with Devil May Cry. So it was with me and Brenton, and you guys can look forward to later in the afternoon getting the next part in Gaming with the Geeks Resident Evil Edition with Aldo Gomez. So you guys can look forward to that and have some fun with it. And here we go. Press this button, and there is the dragon. So let's go ahead and take care of him. This is the Storm Dragon. And if you haven't figured out how I'm going to take this guy out, don't know what to tell you. Really don't know what to tell you. I'm actually getting really excited because once we start up Kefka's Tower, that's pretty much endgame. That's the end of Final Fantasy VI, and as people have noticed and have commented, we're coming up on part 50 of Final Fantasy VI, and I hate to tell you guys, but there's going to be more than that. We're going to go a little over 50, and that's going to be officially the longest Let's Play of the Final Fantasy games on the channel, so you guys can look forward to that. But hey, it's not 101 like Tale of Drakfu was. And really quick, I'm going to address this. Some people actually got mad that I didn't celebrate 100 episodes of the Tale of Drakfu. The only reason I didn't was because it's an MMO. I knew it was going to be huge when I signed on for it. I think at this point, more of a celebration would be, I don't know, 500 episodes, 1,000 episodes. I'd more like to celebrate when we're done, when the Tale of Drakfu is up and you guys can check it out and all that fun stuff. Which we're getting really close to. We're getting ready to finish up Wrath of the Lich King, so that's the second expansion. We have still 4 more expansions, and then we're good. Although, knowing my luck, we'll probably have a 7th expansion by that point, and then we'll have that to worry about. But we'll get there when we get there. So again, happy Thursday. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. And then also, if you guys want something to look forward to, tomorrow we're going to have the final Tale of Drakfu episode for the week, as well as my first vlog. My first vlog on Marvel's Iron Fist, because that's coming out literally that day. Now, I'm only going to do episode 1, and it's just because I know I said I was going to do 1 and 2 last time. Right, we're going in. Okay, so this is where we're going into Kefka's Tower. And like the Phoenix Cave, except the Phoenix Cave, I think we only took... Did we take 3 parties in? We may have only taken 2. It's time to break into Kefka's domain. Alright, it's time. We're here. What's wrong, Celeste? We're sad about this video series ending. The statues give the Espers the magical energy they need to live. If we destroy the statues... this is a factor we haven't considered. Then what will happen? I'm really not sure, but... The Espers, and magic too, will most definitely disappear from this world. And then, what will happen to Terra? We didn't think about that until now. She is half Esper. She is a half magical being. And for that, now we assemble 3 parties. So like I said, I know I've been saying that there was going to be 2 episodes of Iron Fist. This time around, though, we're going to do 1 because I actually have another video planned for Friday, which is my, just to get you guys excited, my long-awaited final review of Resident Evil 7. You guys can check that out tomorrow. It's going to be a vlog review. It's just going to be covering a lot of the details I've already covered, but also lending a final score to Resident Evil 7, which I know a lot of people have been waiting very patiently for. So, that being said, back to Final Fantasy VI, and we are just setting up our 4 parties. Or 4 parties, jeez. Wow, if I only had to collect characters for that. Actually, what's really funny is, I'll set up these parties, but as you'll notice, we actually have 2 left over. So this is what you get as far as choices. Now, people might notice I didn't take Ga or Umaro, and that's just because I don't really like the rage ability from Ga, and Umaro is a berserker, so I can't necessarily control what he's going to do. Whereas all of these other characters, they're all pretty much beefed. So here we go. Kefka's Tower is a big dungeon. I'm not going to lie to anybody here. It's going to take a while to get through. Obviously, because it's the 3-party dungeon. And 3 parties having to work together to make it through said dungeons. The statues are up ahead, and there's tons of bosses, like most final dungeons in Final Fantasy actually do. What I actually tried to do also is take out all of the menu functions and stuff like that to help make this go as quick as it could. So, to all the people who are probably worried that it was going to be like 5 to 10 solid minutes of menus, no. I'm going to try and make this as easy as I can. And the other interesting part is that I'm walking in here fairly overprepared. The only reason is because I did a lot of grinding, and I was actually really, really lucky in coming across a particular monster that drops a really awesome relic called the Economizer. And for those who know what the Economizer does, or for those who don't know what the Economizer does, it basically takes any magic cost and takes it down to 1 MP. Now, this is amazing because, as you might notice, I have a lot of really high-end spells that probably would wipe out my magic points otherwise. So this is basically going to allow me to do things like spam Ultima, spam Vanish Doom, spam Life 3, Cure 3, Haste 2, all of the really expensive magic just to give myself that extra edge in Kefka's Tower. So yeah, I'm a little overpowered for this area, and I think by the end of it, I had enough to... Oh, let's see. I think I have 3 economizers in the first 2 parties, and then I have 2 others in the... No, I have 3 others in the other parties, because I remember that later on. I have 9 economizers, people. That's how often I ran across this monster, and he's rare, to be able to get to this point. Yeah, I'm just going to let that sink in for people, because that's how much of a grind freak I am. I don't think people have actually realized that up until this point. Maybe in Final Fantasy V when you saw me master out all the jobs, but like 4, I don't think that was really passed along very well. Maybe not in 3, definitely not in 2. But 2's got a really dumb system. So with that, we continue on in Kefka's Tower. Now, I do have a little bit of bad news for next week and a little bit of business I need to take care of. Unfortunately, there will probably not be any Gaming with the Geeks videos next week, and it's just because I have a review to get out for Honor, so you guys can get my opinions on that. And then also, we're getting to mid to late March, and I still have not put up my latest Why We Geek episode. So it's going to go up next week for those who are excited for it. I'm not going to spoil what the subject matter is. People get mad at me because I don't want to spoil that. I really want you to go and listen to it and then get spoiled on what it's going to be. I mean, you're going to have a big cover photo on the YouTube play of it. So at that point, you're already going to know what it is. But I don't want to spoil it up until that point, if that makes sense. I think you guys will like it, though. It's in honor of one of the movies that's coming out this week, or this month, in March, obviously. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. For those who aren't going to enjoy it, well, wait till next month. Maybe you'll see something that's going to be more your thing. And as far as other business is concerned, so people love it so much when I do this, but I'm actually going to be taking another break very soon. What that means is you're going to get like one video a day that week, and it's pretty much just going to be, you know, what you would expect. A Final Fantasy part. If we're still in Final Fantasy VI, it would be Final Fantasy VI. You're going to get, obviously, whatever me and Andrea are working on at the time, which probably will be King's Quest by that point. And then obviously there will be Gaming with the Geeks. There probably won't be a Tale of Drakfu. I don't know. We'll figure that out, but we have some pre-recorded stuff too that I would like to give a focus as well. I just don't like the idea of losing an entire week's worth of material on Tale of Drakfu because we pump out so much. We'll figure that out, but there will be a week-long break where you guys will get at minimum one episode. There probably won't be a podcast that week. I don't know. But it is going to happen, and the main reason being is obviously I'm trying to make some improvements to the office. I will have some upgrades in my PC once again to put in, just to help out with streaming and a bunch of other problems. So that's going to be happening. Oh, welcome back, Atma. I am Atma, left here since birth, forgotten in the river of time. In this bathroom, I've had an eternity to ponder the meaning of things, as well as poop. And now I have an answer. Alright, so yay, we have an Atma fight. Atma revisited, basically. So again, that week is actually going to be the week of April 17th through 21st. So you guys have got a while, but I'm going to take that week off to get some extra stuff done, as well as maybe get some cleaning done in the office. It's starting to get a little stuffy in here. So you guys can look forward to that, and I'm just basically doing it to get ready for the summer. But you guys have a couple of weeks, so I think that's going to be just fine. I just want to give you guys some advance notice on the matter. And bye, Atma. That took so long. Oh my gosh, what on earth am I going to do with my time? I'm going to get on with my life. There you go. So I'm trying to remember if this guy actually... Yeah, he just gives a save point. You will get save points throughout Kefka's Tower, but... like I said, this is endgame. We're not going to be stepping out to take care of other things, and we're just going to get it done. We are that close to the end of Final Fantasy VI, and then we can move on to what is considered the most popular in the series, Final Fantasy VII. Which leads me once again to the one question that I tried to get asked last week, but I'm just going to go ahead and ask it again because I continue to hear what you guys are saying. What is your favorite Final Fantasy in the series? And go ahead and leave a comment below, and I want to be able to see you guys' answers. I've already gotten some mixed answers. Some people that told me they did like 2. A few others actually did tell me that, of all things, they liked 8, which I almost think is like the anti-popular thing to do, but you know what? I understand the reasoning, and I'm okay with it. I also got a lot of people saying we love 7, and 7 is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and well, maybe we'll wait till the Let's Play before I give my opinion on the matter. And before you guys start writing your comments, I don't hate 7. I just don't think it's the best in the series. So, I think it's a good entry, but I just don't think it's the best that the series has had to offer. Granted, I am biased towards the 16-bit era. I think that's the best era for the games. Obviously, because they had really popular titles around this time, but the PlayStation era was also pretty good too. That's the other thing to keep in mind, is that after 6 is done, we officially say our bygones to the 16-bit era, and we move on into the PlayStation era, or the 32-bit era. Or as a lot of people like to call it, the non-Nintendo era. because that's 7 was around the time that Square basically said, yeah, we can't continue to make RPGs for Nintendo because they're not getting away from cartridges. We need discs, and therefore pitched their idea to the then PlayStation. And, well, PlayStation I don't think realized at the time what they actually had until it happened. And now they love them. They love Square Enix, and they don't want to get rid of them. Oh, by the way, bye-bye, Golden Dragon. So there's yet another dragon. That leaves us down to 1. Both of these dragons can be attained in Kefka's Tower. So there you go. But yeah, again, leave me your feedback on your favorite Final Fantasy title, and let me know. Give me a reason why. Give me like a. I'm not saying like justify your reasoning for it, but give me the reason why it resonates with you, because each Final Fantasy title, I believe for fans, resonates in a particular way. Hence why my decision's biased, because my favorite is determined by the one that I kind of grew up with, that I kind of absolutely loved. So I would love to hear you guys' reasoning for it. And also, as an additional question in the comments, we are coming up on 30... Well, no, we're not coming up. This year is the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy. This series has been around for 30 years. And we've only touched on roughly half of what the series has to offer, at least in the main line. You know, we're in 6 right now. Once we get to 7, we're going to be more along the terms of the halfway point, because obviously we have 15 entries into it, 2 of which are MMOs, so I tend to not count them. They're their own thing. But even then, if you take that out, it's still 13 entries. That's roughly half. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to think about the 30th anniversary. For me, it just reminds me of how old I am. Nothing against it. It's just like, wow, Final Fantasy has been around since I was literally 4 years old. Yeah, I just basically alluded to my own age, and I don't care. If you guys want to call me an old fart, that's fine. But since I was a little kid, Final Fantasy has been around, and I didn't realize how much I would love the series then, but now I have such a love for Final Fantasy as a whole that I don't necessarily care. And I'm glad that I've been on this wild, wild ride. Because here's the thing, it's got 15 mainline entries, but who knows how many actual entries on the side. I mean, there are so many games you have to consider that I consider side entries in Final Fantasy. For example, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts does include Final Fantasy characters, so I believe it has to be counted. The Final Fantasy Tactics series. That's an amazing series. That's one of those things I would love to do a playthrough on, but I'm not sure how that would work. I would try and make it work, but I'm not sure how. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Mystic Quest. You know, for as much as people hate it, it is a side entry in the Final Fantasy series. Final Fantasy has had movies. It's had anime. This is a series with a long-standing legacy in multiple forms of media. Granted, some of its more modern entries are a little frustrating for people, but I think they've been made up for. I mean, we already have entries like World of Final Fantasy that came out last year. That's amazing. If I was just... I would honestly say, like, World of Final Fantasy is basically what I've wanted from Kingdom Hearts, where I wanted some love and respect handed to the Final Fantasy characters, and it's more about telling the story of Sora as well as the Disney worlds, because people love Disney, and I get that, but it does annoy me a little bit that that's what Final Fantasy has been relegated off to, is being just a storytelling device to merge Disney worlds together. But, well, World of Final Fantasy decided to put in Sora as a summon. So, and I don't necessarily disagree with that, because Kingdom Hearts has thrived not only because of the Disney legacy, but I would actually say that as a gamer, the Final Fantasy legacy probably means a little bit more. I already know a few people who are going to scream bloody murder, just like, oh my gosh, are you trying to say Disney wasn't... No, I'm not saying Disney didn't mean anything, but Disney was a way to be able to bring people outside of gaming into it, the way I see it. Like, gamers love Disney too, and I'm not saying that they don't. But gamers already had a motivation aside from that, and that was if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you were going to like this game. I mean, for crying out loud, we already have generations that have grown up on Kingdom Hearts. Just the existing entries that are out there right now. So, and all of this can be credited not only to Disney, but, well, Square Enix had to make those games. So, I would say that they deserve more of the credit because it was their backbone that created this series that people love. Other series that I think lay some credit to Final Fantasy, Vagrant Story is another one. Oh, geez. There's so many in that line that... And some of these have multiple entries, like Crystal Chronicles does, Tactics does. It's pretty ridiculous if you think about it. Just how much credit that needs to be laid over to Final Fantasy, and this is the year to do it. I mean, it's not only the 30th anniversary for Final Fantasy, I also find it funny that on the anniversary of the 20th, or on the 20th anniversary, we'll be taking on Final Fantasy VII. So, 2 anniversaries at once. That'll be interesting. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts on Final Fantasy hitting 30. I'm so happy that it has. I'm so happy that this is a series that has been part of my life, even though I love the fact that this series has basically brought everybody else out of the woodwork going, wait, you're not a Dragon Quest fan? Wait, you're not a Tales fan? It's not that I'm not a fan, I know Final Fantasy. So, hence, I've been able to meet a lot of you guys and have started up Dragon Quest. I've started up, or I'm planning on starting up the Tales series. And the other one that gets recommended is Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei. So, that's a lot of stuff. No wonder I don't get to things like Mass Effect anymore. I'm off busy playing other things because you guys recommend it, so... No, I would have done it anyway. I like being able to check out what I missed and see if I like it. Oh, we continue on in this horrible, horrible Kefka's Tower, and such a maze. And unfortunately, we only have one party that can do this with the Moogle charm, and they already got to their end game. So now it's just going to be random encounter personal hell. Crime and Netley. Oh, and in case you guys missed the announcement last week, well, first of all, catch up. You need to see the previous part. But I am going to be doing a review for Mass Effect Andromeda, so you guys can look forward to that. I'm farther enough in the game than I thought I was. So we are going to do it, and I think we'll be okay. I'm not going to be spoiling anything for myself. I mean, I technically know that the Mass Effect 3 ending was controversial. I just don't know how it was. So I will take care of that in my own time. Holy random encounters, Batman. That's what you get from a final dungeon, people. This is what you're walking into. Let's see. Is there any other major things that I need to take care of? As far as games I've played, obviously I'm sticking to the review stuff. I finished up my footage as well as thoughts on Resident Evil 7, so you guys can look forward to that tomorrow. I've also finished up For Honor, so you guys are going to get the review next week. And I'm currently working on Horizon Zero Dawn and its review, getting footage for that, as well as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So you guys can look forward to that hopefully very, very soon. I don't know, because I still have games coming out, like... Because Mass Effect is coming out the 21st, and I think I've got another one on March 30th. So those are going to take some time as well. But in the meantime, you are going to get a Drak Tries for Mass Effect Andromeda to tie you over, see what I think about it. I also do have some additional Mass Effect plans this year, so you guys can look forward to that. Also, somebody's going to have to say off in the distance, there Drak goes, making himself busier again. Not trying to, but yeah, you're probably right. I've got some Mass Effect plans, but nothing big. You guys can look forward to that when it comes out. I've got lots of plans. I would love to be able to... Guys, I need more hours in the day. I really do. I need more hours in the day so that I can get as much stuff as I want to you guys. I just don't have enough. Oh, well. Oh, no. Atomic Ray. And it kind of hurt. Not really, but okay. I think we're actually really close to the third party's end, but I'm not sure. And unfortunately, we are getting to that time once again, so when we get back, we will continue on in Kefka's Tower.